Welcome everyone to today's Sigstore community meeting. I'm very excited for this meeting today because we're going to get to talk a little bit about SigstoreCon, which is very exciting. I'm so excited for this event, but we'll chat more about that in a second. As always, if you'd like to, please add your name to the agenda, sign in, and if you have anything you'd like to talk about, please feel free to add it. We will just go through the agenda from top to bottom. So kicking things off, we had a couple releases I wanted to call out. One was with Cosign. So Zach, I don't believe you're here. No, but I'll shout out Zach from GitHub. He's been doing a lot of the work here around starting to what we call modernize Cosign. So if you look at the other Sigstore client libraries, you'll see support for things like a new bundle format, for a file called a trust root as a unified way to ship roots of trust for Sigstore, and also leveraging our conformance test suite to make sure that all the clients have the same behavior around handling input and output. We're starting to move Cosign in that direction finally, which is very exciting to see. It's built on top of Sigstore Go, which is a new Golang client library for Sigstore. Right now with Cosign 2.4, we have support for this bundle format. We have support for providing trust root files. This one I particularly love because if you're familiar with Cosign, we have a lot of different flags to provide a lot of different material. Now can all be provided via one flag. And we also did a conformance test suite integration to verify signing and verification. Over time, we'll start deprecating some of these flags as we move ultimately towards a major release, Cosign 3.0. This will be a ways out. There'll be lots of time to do these migrations. But if you'd like to start trying this out and give some feedback, please do take a look. The next thing is an update to Fulcio around CI providers. Javon, since I see you here, did you want to mention this feature?
Sure. Yes. We moved the way that CI providers can be onboarded on Fulcio from like adding or implementing the whole logic that we has there, defined in some interfaces, and instead that we can just fill a config file YAML and defining like this different behavior by using templates. I think that's the summary of the feature. It is already rolled out in staging and production for the public good instance. And yeah, I think that's it. I will make a blog post soon explaining better how to onboard the feature and this stuff.
Thanks for all your work on this, Siobhan. This is really nice to see. For, I don't know if we have any of the CI providers here, but there was a lot of boilerplate and copied code. And so it's nice to see now all this is just configuration driven. So yeah, if you know any source repositories that also provide CI, or not even source repositories, but just CI providers that want to integrate as well, feel free to point them at this feature. I'll mention on the recourse side of things, I think I mentioned this in the last community meeting, or it might have been the TSC call, but we're starting to work on a proposal for a new API for Recor, a 2.0 release. We will be sharing a doc with the community very shortly that goes through, at a high level, what are the things that we've learned from running the 1.0 API and what we'd like to see as part of the 2.0 API, with one of the primary features being a move to what are called tile-based logs, which should be far easier to run, cheaper to run, easier to maintain. So we hope to see more community members operating logs as well. So look forward to that doc, should be out in a week or so. Alrighty, moving on to clients. Is there anyone who wanted to chat about Sigstore Go? Otherwise, I can just give that a shout out. So I'll just say on the Sigstore Go front, there was a new release. It has some bug fixes. There was a small breaking change in that we made a struct, we renamed a struct. But it's been going well. I'm really excited that we were able to integrate this into Cosign as well, since that also gives us a nice way to test out a lot of the new features. Do we have any other clients who wanted to mention any updates? Cool. Well, then moving along, infrastructure. Paul, did you want to take this?
I'm not up to speed on the Tough CI one. I will mention I threw in the database maintenance that's coming up. It's mostly a keep subscribed to the status page. We'll try and update whenever we have planned maintenance coming up. This is around the upgrading the database for public good instance. So the page takes a second to load for some reason. But yes, if you could subscribe to the status updates if you want to. If you're using PGI and want to be aware of any upcoming maintenance windows we publish. I'm not sure who put the Tough on CI one there. I think you're muted.
Thank you. I forgot what I wrote. This was me, I think. So Tough on CI is a new framework for more easily managing Tough repositories. This is now how we manage our staging repository, and we are now migrating over our production repository. So if you want to take a look at what this looks like, I'll leave a link here. This is our staging repository. It's a far simpler setup than what we have in our production repo currently. If you have tried to set up your own Tough repo by following what we do in production, you'll see a lot of GitHub Actions scripts. It's a lot of configuration. Tough on CI greatly simplifies all of that. So I'm really excited to see this move. There should be no impact to any clients. This is effectively to a client just another Tough rotation. So I don't think we're changing any targets. And even if we were, again, any clients who are using the update framework should automatically pick these updates up. But if you'd like to follow along, take a look at our production repo, which is root signing, where a lot of these changes are happening. All righty. Docs. Tracy, you want to take that?
Yeah, let's tuck those in. Cool. So roadmap, first up, folks may or may not be aware, Sigstore has a really great roadmap, which talks about some of the mission, vision, and all the adoption. Recently did an update to just reflect some of the incredible adoption that's happening across ecosystem. So like there's a new table which shows the ecosystem adoption as well as the clients. Okay, yeah, so that's the client one, which is updated to reflect like some of the Sigstore Ruby. And under the ecosystem, we now have a table which reflects what Bob and Luke mentioned in the last talk. So yeah, thanks to everyone who provided reviews. And yeah, for any other updates, I encourage folks to send PRs so we can keep this up to date. And one of the main things in the roadmap for a lot of the projects is the architecture docs. So that's work underway to just move all of those from Google Docs into the architecture docs repo. So the full CO spec was the first one, and that's just been merged. So that's been good to get that in and sort of sets the stylistic direction we'll go in. So now also we'll be migrating the rest of the docs to that repo and fixing up the overview and maybe doing some nice improvements like having a Sigstore glossary. So the next PR in the queue is the client spec, which we discussed briefly for folks who were at the last client meeting. And the general sense is we're moving the Google Doc more or less as is and pushing a lot of the to-dos into issues on GitHub. And then we will use the client meeting to start progressing them in GitHub rather than in the Google Doc. So yeah, I'd love for folks to take a look and to start leaving your reviews on the doc so we can get that merged and yeah, keep it going. Great. That's all for me. Thanks.
Awesome. Thanks for all your work on this, Tracy.
Yes.
Dimitri, do you have a question?
Yeah, I have a question about docs and also what you said, the move for the cosine. Do you have the examples, tutorials, anything like for moving from all those command line switches for cosine to the trust root?
So I think this would be something that we'll need to put ultimately under, just going to pull it up, under our technical documentation page. We don't have that yet. I believe we have examples in the PR where we made a lot of these changes, but we do need to do that as well. I expect we'll probably start with a blog post where we describe all of this, and then ultimately we'll start moving over our documentation as well.
Okay, great.
But I can link you to some of the PRs if you want to start playing with this. The main thing is there's just a I believe it's a new bundle flag, and then you can provide the trust root.
Okay, maybe you can make an issue. I don't know, either in docs or in cosine, probably maybe in docs, and then we can see how we can fill this. And I'd be happy to try because I'm looking to doing the transitional testing there how it will work.
I can definitely do that.
Thanks.
And I can definitely link PRs as well, so everyone can take a look. All righty. Any other updates that anyone wants to give? All right. So now we come to the fun part. Not that everything was also not fun before this, but if you've seen on social media, we've started making a bit of noise about this. I'm really excited to announce SigstoreCon. So this is the second iteration of this. We had a previous iteration 2 years ago, and it's back. So I'll pull up this page to show all y'all. So this is SigstoreCon. I will say when you search on Google, sometimes you'll see the first SigstoreCon. This one is SigstoreCon Supply Chain Day. The reason why we added supply chain is we want to call out that we're accepting talks for more than just Sigstore, but also for related projects, projects that we build on top of, like Tough, like in Toto, projects that use Sigstore, like Salsa. We also want to encourage related projects like binary transparency or other transparency systems to present as well. We'd love to hear from the SBOM community, from the VEX community. So yeah, we please to take a look. If you're interested in registering, just follow this link. We have a fairly nominal cost to register. I will mention that we are in the process of setting up registration when you also register for KubeCon. Note that KubeCon registration is not required. So you can attend SigstoreCon without attending KubeCon. It'll be on Tuesday, November 12th, which is the day that all of the co-located KubeCon events are happening. And yeah, as I was saying, we're in the process of setting up registration. So when you go through KubeCon, you'd be able to register for this event if you want to. As for the CFP, we've proposed a number of suggested topics or tracks. I will say that if you have a related project and you don't really know exactly how it fits into it, best practices in supply chain security is probably the best track. We'll sort it out when we go through the reviews. And if you do have any other suggested topics or tracks, let me know. I think this does a decent job of covering everything that we might want to accept. We're going to accept 2 types of talks, session presentations for 30 minutes and lightning talks for 10 minutes. I don't yet know if we have a lot of talks, we could have parallel tracks going on. I'm going to assume that we won't. And then important dates are here. Main thing to mention, have about a month for the CFP submission, and then we'll try to get notifications out to authors fairly quickly. And then we'll have about a month between announcements and the event. So yeah, really, really excited. I'll say one thing to mention, we are finalizing the venue, expected to be very close to where KubeCon is hosted. We're just finalizing that detail, so we'll send out some more communications once we have that. On Sigstore's blog, we have the announcement along with some FAQs. If you have any other questions, let me know, and we can add these to this list as well. One other thing to mention, we will have a prospectus out for anyone who would like to sponsor the event. That'll be coming out hopefully this week, if not next week. So again, we'll send out some messaging about that. So if your company would like to sponsor the event, we'll have some more information very shortly. Yeah, I'm really, really excited about this. I'm really, really happy that we were able to put this all together. So hopefully many of y'all will be able to come. Really, really looking forward to this. Please do share this with your colleagues, especially if they're coming to KubeCon and would like to head down a day early. We would very much love to see y'all. Oh, and I'll mention one other thing. With that registration, this also includes lunch, coffee, and swag, which honestly makes it a pretty good deal. So, you know, I can't tell you what the swag is yet. It's probably gonna be t-shirts, but yeah. So I'm very, very excited. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask them now. Feel free to shoot me a message later as well.
You had me at swag.
I should put that like in bold on the website to really drive this home. Awesome. Well, as I said, if you have any questions, let me know. Share this on social if you have a huge Twitter, X, TikTok, LinkedIn, Blue Sky, Mastodon following. Send us around. I'm not particularly big on social media, so I'm not the right person to do this. Awesome. Well, for this last section, if anybody has any other questions, we leave this time open. As well, if you're new to the community, if you'd like to say hi and introduce yourself, now's the time if you'd like to. All right. Well, as always, hope everybody has a great couple weeks. We'll meet again in 2 weeks. See you all online.
Thanks.